Morning folks. So there is a chance that what I've come to do today is a terrible idea. I don't actually know, I've never tried it before, but I'm starting to run out of options of what I can do. The flip side of it is, it might also work brilliantly. I mean, it might turn out to be like a really good idea and something that I can implement for tree stumps going forwards. I don't know because I've never tried it, and like, what time is it? It's like 10:30ish, 20 to 11. That does mean that I have got a few hours spare to give it a bash and see if it works. Okay, so the issue that I've got to deal with is here on Electric Landlady, and there's a stump in a like a rubbish place, right in a, I mean, you could force people to shoot down in between there, but that's just not what I want to do. It's not a good setup for the jump. What I've found is, after cutting all of the roots that I can see off of this stump, when I put the Jenny bar in, I can get it to move a little bit, but it isn't moving very much. So my thoughts is that I will set up some wraps and winch onto this and put some pressure with the winch. The winch does about 1.5 tons, I think. Oh well, it might be more. I've moved bigger trees than just this with it. This might have a taproot going straight down, and that could be the thing that's causing me issues. Now I do have, I might as well walk you down while I'm here. I do have some more stumps in shocking places that if this method works, then awesome, you know, it'll really help me. I don't know if this is going to show up on the GoPro because they're quite far away, but just after the landing, I don't know, am I getting it right here? Just after the landing down here and down the corridor that I want to send you down, I have got a couple more stumps in there. I haven't cut those roots yet, so hey, maybe they'll just pop with the Jemmy bar, but if the winch method works, then perfect, make my life a whole lot easier. Anyway, let's set it up and give it a bash. Okay, so one of the classic issues with tree stumps is, and I know this from using a bloody 17-ton excavator to pull them out with the bucket, every time you think that you've got all of its roots, you never have. There's always something under the surface that's there, or a taproot down. At the moment I've got the winch on it, and there's, to my reckoning, that's pretty taut. There's probably somewhere between 3/4 to a ton of pressure on that. And when I use the Jemmy bar, although I don't think I'm going to be able to do this and film at the same time, maybe I can. I don't know if that showed up, but I can get a little bit of movement on it. But one of the other things that I've learnt through doing it with an excavator is you kind of have to attack it from the right angle. I'm beginning to think that pulling it that way, in that direction, isn't the right angle, because I'm not getting much more than like 30 mil or so movement on it. So let's rig it up and try it from a different angle, see if we can get this thing to pop. No joke, man, these things are frustrating as hell. Come on, please. Come on, Sean, knocks it up. Victory. Today's been a bit of a learning experience, so I have confirmed that with stumps, it's never the roots you can see that are holding it in, it's always the ones you can't. But secondly, and kind of, excuse me, Jesus, I'm out of breath, man. Secondly, and kind of most importantly, is that the winch method will work as long as you've kind of got the roots that you can see cut around it. You can at least start to apply some pressure and wiggle it about, and with a bit more effort then you can get them out. That one, I honestly, I was at a point of, right, I don't actually think this is coming out, so for it to be out today is great news, and it does mean that the other stumps are really, God, do you know what, just to try not to jinx myself massively, I'm going to touch wood when I say it, I don't think that the other ones are quite as bad as that, I hope. But at least now, you know, I know the winch method works, so it's worth giving a go. Morning folks. So yesterday was a bit of a carry on with a big stump back there. Today, let's just get you down this landing. Today we've got to sort out some of these. So in here there's some stumps that are in just like the worst possible place. That is in an old one, a rotten one. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it should be easy. That one might not be so easy. There's like a double stump thing here with an old one and a newer one next to it, and I don't think that one's going to be so easy either, but they've got to come out, simple as that. Right, so I've got the two finger root things cut out. They were a problem because they were kind of milliseconds after just dropping your landing, and just when you kind of think that you're set, you've put down, you've landed it, there would have been these two big sort of problems right across you. It's never a good thing. So now I've got to deal with this stump, which is an older stump. I mean, pretty old. The problem with these is it's kind of, they're quite fat, the finger roots, and there's other stuff that's kind of interconnecting around it. So from newer, possibly either that one or this, but anyway, I'm gonna have to just dig and explore to find out more. Okay, so I'm toying with a bit of an 11th hour track change. Not always a good idea, but sometimes it can work out great, so I'm just going to play with the idea for a second. The whole purpose of this part of the track is to get your wheels back on the ground and bring you down out the air safely. The next part of the track in front of me is really, you know, I've got to think about what it's for. The next part of the track is to get you down into a decent position to take on the third feature. So, hang on, let me spin round. So, behind me here, I've got a couple of stumps that are absolutely useless. They're in a bad spot, they're no good. But then straight after it, there's two more together, which could be useful before I start digging them out. This has got a, it's not going to show on YouTube on GoPro, but this has got such a slight S-bend in it where the track's gonna go. I know you guys can't see that now, but I can see it in my head, and I'm beginning to wonder whether I've put either a single or a double in, not a double as in what some people call a double, I mean a single or a double log size, to get you back through into the S. Let's just wander down and have a look. I'm not explaining this well because I'm in super early days of just toying with this idea. So let me just run you down here. These two trees that I'm walking to now, so spin you around, these two here, so that one and this one, is where you're going to be heading through, because you're trying to get down to the third feature. You're not going to be able to see that from here, but it might be an idea just through this slight, it's a very, very slight S-bend, it's not much at all, to utilise that log there, that stump, sorry. Kind of just thinking out loud at the moment. What I want to do is take you down through here, and this is where the track's going to head down. I'll spin you around again because that's not really helping, is it? So take you down through here, through this narrow bit, just for a bit of a speed check. Once you've, I mean, to be honest, some people are going to take the narrow bit just at full bore. But what's going to happen is you're going to end up coming down through here. Am I even, again, probably not showing it on GoPro, but coming down through here and getting into this last feature. So this is going to be bench cut slightly to let you down and through. But looking from here, actually, this shows that you've just come through an ever such a slight S-bend, and I'm just wondering whether I'm a fool to cut those out when I could just use them for a little kick just to get you back on track. The other side of it is it might just be bloody fun to kind of put down and then have a little kick up and over. Let's explore the idea a bit further. Right, well, that's 2 more victories over stumps in here now. Hard fought victories. What I've done is I've cut a couple of lengths out of a fallen tree over there, but I'm just kind of, I wanted to transport them over and lay them up now that these are out, but I'm kind of running short on time. What it is tonight I've got an evening session going on. Every time that I open, before I open, I like to go and walk all the tracks and check them through. So with the way it is now, I've got like about an hour and a half left before I need to get ready to be open, so I probably need to go and do some track checks. So quite often what I'll do is once I think I've got a few people signed in and it's maybe quietened off a bit, or even if some people have been for a bit and started to leave, I'll sometimes kind of close up the doors and go and do a bit of work. But today, after, well, not even today actually, after 2 days worth of hammering away at stumps, I'm kind of done. So I'm just going to have a brew and I'm going to hope that Ando turns up with donuts. So today's a bit of a rest day for us. You can't do axe work and shovel work all day, every day for too long. It just blow you out. And although I said in the last video that life's a lot less complicated now, it doesn't mean that I haven't got shit to do. But you know, this is quite nice because obviously a paintbrush is way lighter than the stuff I have been working with. And it does offer you a bit of time to think. I don't know particularly if having too much time to think is a great idea for people like me. For example, in June I decided that I didn't want to do, well, my contract came to an end with Evans and I decided I didn't want to do another year with them for whatever reason. I just was like, to hell with the consequences, I'm not doing it, I don't want to. However, the consequences of that are that I don't have a bike. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do about that, and that's probably something that I shouldn't spend too much time dwelling on. Well, just have to figure it out. The other thing is that tomorrow I'm about to go and try something that I hope will work. I don't know will work. I hope it'll work out, but if it doesn't, I don't have a plan B for. And I can't really think of an alternate that I want to use for it, so probably doesn't do too well to overthink that either, otherwise that'll be a sleepless night. But anyway, let's not worry about it now, let's just fast forward to tomorrow. So it's spitting with rain today, which is both good and bad in a way. So it's good because it's just like a little bit of drizzle, like nothing. I mean, it's not like actual chucking down rain, but at the same time, well, no, hang on, that's not the only reason it's good. We've had such a serious dry spell that, to be fair, both the woods and the tracks, they kind of need, well, they're behind on their water consumption, and it does tack up the tracks for the weekend. The other side of it is there's none forecast for tomorrow, so get it out of the way today. You know, so there are some positives. I mean, when you get in the woods with drizzle, you don't even, the tree's sheltered and you don't even notice it's there, so it's not like I'm going to get soaked today. But there is a part of having some drizzle that does kind of make it a bit of a pain in the arse. So alongside track checks, the main job for today was to figure out what I'm doing with the surfacing on these wooden features. This track's got 3 main wooden features, and I mean, the old school way is to wrap them in chicken wire. Now, whilst I'm not 100% against that, I mean, for the slow speed one up at the top, maybe that'll be the thing to do, and I've got plenty of chicken wire, but I'd kind of rather not. So what I'm trying to figure out is if I can use roofing felt. It has a sort of similar texture to skateboard grip, and I think it's something that I'd prefer to try. Now, obviously I'll be using these roofing tacks to hold it down, but I've also got some I don't know, Jesus, it's like some sort of solvent that kind of melts the back of it. Now, the reason that I was a bit sort of bummed out about the fact that it had been damp, I mean, blue skies now, but the reason that I was a bit bummed out about the wood being wet is I kind of presume you're supposed to do it when it's dry, but then it's solvent, it's a chemical reaction, so what does it matter whether there's water on there or not? I don't know. But it's going to get tacked down anyway, so I've brought the straight edge, brought a knife to cut some bits out, so let's give it a crack and just try it out, see how if it works. Right, well, this method appears to be working out alright. It's a lot more grippy than it was. I won't actually know until I get to kind of ride it, but spin you around a bit more. Sorry if that made you feel dizzy. I won't get to know until I ride it, but yeah, I mean, it feels good. It's good to walk on. It should be alright for tyres because it's like, it's roof stuff, roof felt, but it kind of feels like, sort of skateboard grip tape. But yeah, working alright. It's like, what is it? Yeah, so it's like 5:30, 25 to 6. I'll be honest with you, I'm hungry now. I'm pretty tired. I've only got a little bit left of this part to finish off, just down the end there, but I'll do that once I've signed everybody in tomorrow, and I've got the track checks done, that's sorted, so really I just need to tidy up and get home, get some tea and get this video edited. Anyway, that'll do for this week's vlog, and I'll see you at the weekend.